Hey everyone, welcome back to UK Pro Writers. Today, we have an intriguing research topic to dive into. The impact of conditions attached to IMF assistance on variables such as fiscal discipline, economic reforms, and the likelihood of financial crises. Stick around as we unravel the importance of this research and guide you through the various chapters of a comprehensive research paper. Importance of the research topic. This research topic is crucial as it delves into the intricate relationship between IMF assistance conditions and key economic variables, providing insights that can shape effective policy decisions. Understanding how these conditions influence fiscal discipline, economic reforms, and the likelihood of financial crises is essential for both policymakers and economists striving to foster sustainable development. By unraveling the complexities of IMF assistance, this research contributes to a broader comprehension of international financial dynamics and aids in formulating strategies that promote economic stability and growth in recipient nations. Real-world examples. In recent years, Argentina has faced economic turmoil, with the International Monetary Fund stepping in to provide assistance. The conditions attached to the IMF assistance, including fiscal austerity measures, sparked public protests and raised questions about the impact of such conditions on the country's economic reforms and stability. During the Eurozone crisis, Greece received significant financial support from the IMF. The stringent conditions imposed on Greece, including austerity measures and structural reforms, generated widespread social unrest. Examining the aftermath of these conditions provides valuable insights into how IMF assistance terms can affect fiscal discipline and contribute to the likelihood of financial crises in a real-world context. Chapter 1, Introduction. Every research journey begins with Chapter 1, the Introduction. This chapter sets the stage for your study, providing a roadmap for readers to understand the context and significance of your work. Research problem. Let's start with identifying a research problem. An example could be the question of how IMF conditions may hinder or promote sustainable economic development in recipient countries. Research significance. Why is this research important? For instance, understanding the influence of IMF conditions can help policymakers make informed decisions to ensure economic stability and growth. Research questions. How do IMF conditions impact fiscal discipline in recipient countries? What is the relationship between imposed economic reforms and long-term economic stability? To what extent do IMF conditions contribute to the likelihood of financial crises in recipient nations? Research objectives. Analyze the effects of IMF conditions on fiscal discipline. Examine the correlation between imposed economic reforms and economic stability. Assess the factors contributing to financial crises in countries under IMF assistance. Research rationale. The research rationale explains why your study is relevant. An example could be that a better understanding of these dynamics can lead to more effective international financial assistance policies. Chapter 2, Literature Review. In Chapter 2, the Literature Review, you'll explore existing research and theories relevant to your topic. Chapter 2, the Literature Review, encompasses a comprehensive examination of existing scholarly works and theories relevant to the research topic. It serves to contextualize the study, identify gaps in the current knowledge, and lay the theoretical foundation for the research by exploring various subtopics and frameworks. Suitable subtopics. Historical overview of IMF assistance conditions. Impact of IMF conditions on fiscal policies. The relationship between imposed reforms and economic stability. Theories and models. Consider incorporating theories like the principal-agent theory or the dependency theory. For example, the principal-agent theory helps explain the relationship between the IMF, agent, and the recipient country, principal. Literature gap. Identify gaps in existing literature. If past studies focus on economic reforms, your gap could be exploring the social impact of these reforms. Chapter 3, Methodology. Chapter 3, Methodology, is where you outline your research approach. Chapter 3, the Methodology, outlines the research approach, design, and tools employed in the study. It specifies the conceptual framework, research philosophy, approach, strategy, and data analysis methods, providing a detailed roadmap for conducting the research and ensuring its validity and reliability. Conceptual framework. A suitable conceptual framework might include 3 independent variables: IMF conditions, economic reforms, fiscal discipline, and 1 dependent variable, likelihood of financial crises. Research philosophy. Recommend a positivist research philosophy, as it aligns with the empirical nature of this study. Research approach. Suggest a deductive research approach, moving from general theory to specific observations. Research strategy. Propose a quantitative research strategy to analyze numerical data. Data analysis method. For this research, quantitative methods may be more suitable, considering the numerical nature of economic data. Ethical considerations. Consider the ethical implications, such as potential harm to the studied countries. An example could be the need to anonymize data to protect the identities of affected individuals. Limitations and delimitations. Acknowledge limitations, like potential biases, and delimitations, such as focusing solely on a specific time period. Chapter 4, Data Analysis. Chapter 4, the data analysis, involves the systematic examination and interpretation of gathered data using the selected research methods. It elucidates how quantitative or qualitative analyses are conducted, often detailing statistical procedures or qualitative coding processes, to draw meaningful conclusions from the collected information. Quantitative analysis. For quantitative analysis, explain how to determine the sample size. For instance, use statistical methods to calculate an appropriate sample size for accurate results. Qualitative analysis. If qualitative, discuss how to analyze data. For example, using thematic analysis on interview transcripts with key stakeholders. Chapter 5, Conclusion and Recommendations. Conclusion. Summarize your findings and their implications. Highlight the contributions your research makes to the existing body of knowledge. Recommendations. Provide actionable recommendations for policymakers. For instance, suggest modifications to IMF conditions to better align with the long-term economic interests of recipient countries. Future research suggestions. Finally, suggest areas for future research, such as examining the social impact of IMF conditions or comparing the effectiveness of different economic reform strategies. Well, that wraps up our guide on examining the influence of IMF assistance conditions. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, happy researching!